We just woke up. It's just after sunrise. We're in Zambia. We're right on the Zambezi River. We just entered from Zimbabwe last night. It took 3 hours at the border. We got to camp in the dark, exhausted, and we couldn't set up our tent. We couldn't get out of the car because there were 3 hippos in our campsite. They moved off eventually. We got out, set up, cooked dinner, passed out in the tent. I woke up with diarrhea at 3 a.m. Not a good place to have diarrhea because there was a hippo right outside the tent. We waited half an hour till he moved off, clenching my stomach muscles. He's in the bushes, he's out of reach. I get down the ladder, he's like 10 feet away. We locked eyes, he charged. I jumped in the car, hippo's right outside the door, just standing there, not doing anything. Out of the darkness, out of nowhere, some skinny local guy appears with a cell phone light, waves at the hippo. Hippo doesn't move. He threw the smallest little stone, and the hippo just waddled off right into the Zambezi River and disappeared. And I ran to the toilet. So then we overslept, didn't get up in time for sunrise like I had hoped, and we heard somebody climbing the ladder to our tent. Nobody climbs the ladder to our tent but us. It's our tent, no one else should ever touch the ladder. I thought it might be a burglar, and it was. On the ladder was a vervet monkey. A whole troop of them just ran through camp. They're up to no good, they're mischievous, you cannot trust the monkeys here in Africa.
It's mid-afternoon, we are in the middle of nowhere. This is the lower Zambezi region of Zambia. We drove out into this expansive floodplain surrounded by mountains because we heard there'd be tons of animals. There's nothing. It's so hot that the hornbills aren't even out. It's just a roasting oven out here, and the animals must be hiding. We found this amazing baobab behind me. It's like 3,000 years old, but I feel like even the baobab is just too hot right now. It's like 40 Celsius. Not any breeze, it's just too hot. We picked the wrong time of day to come out and look for animals.
We're in Zambia as part of a 3-month overlanding expedition through multiple African countries. We entered from Zimbabwe, drove up to Lusaka, across the center of the country into South Luangwa National Park before entering Malawi. After a few days camping with hippos on the banks of the Zambezi River in the south, we drove up into the capital city of Lusaka.
We're in Lusaka, capital of Zambia. Not much to see here. We're not going to be here very long. It's just not a remarkable city. The whole city doesn't really have any parks or gardens. I don't know who designed it, but they left out this critical piece in making a city special. There's a lot of trash here. We were warned about the trash, but it's everywhere. Despite that, people are quite nice. Everybody's friendly, smiling, but about every 3-4 minutes, somebody comes up and says, hey, you give me food, give me water, give me money. It drives you crazy. We're walking in a residential area of Lusaka. It feels like a nice area, it feels safe, but we don't really know what it's like because everything is walled off. You can't even see the houses or whatever's in here because it's just walls. Walls, walls, walls. How bad's the crime? Locals tell us it's really not that bad, but yet everything's walled off, barbed wire, electric fences, and guards. We're driving in the middle of Zambia here. This town's not even marked on the map, and there's just people everywhere. Just non-stop people, shops, vendors. It's just so crowded. Almost everyone's under like 30 or even 25. There's very few people over 30. It's just people. It's just traffic. It's just hard to move. This country's just been really hard hit by overpopulation and rapid population growth. And everyone's paying the price. All right, check out this road here in Zambia. It's marked as a road to a secret cave. What's more adventurous than that? Look at the road. It's only just big enough to fit our truck through. I'm wondering why we don't just park and walk. But there's just people everywhere and I'm hesitant to like leave the truck. So we're gonna keep going until we can't. We finally found a parking place, and as soon as we parked, 8 people, all kids, appeared out of the bushes to help us find this cave. We just trekked up this whole mountain and there's actually no cave. There was just a single rock that stood out with lots of bugs, and that was it. But we had fun with all these kids. The drone ball with 12 African kids. They love it. Ready? Oh! Every few minutes on this main highway here in Zambia, there's a person or a couple people standing next to potholes, and they throw a shovel full of dirt into the pothole when they see us coming, and then they ask us for money or food. And you know, like, we want to help, but we can't give every person money and food that asks for it, because then we'd have no money or food. There's no easy solution. It's a weekday, it's the middle of the morning, and these kids are out here fixing potholes and begging for food when they should be in school. This is the difficulty of poverty in Africa. We notice there's children everywhere, and they're herding cows. They're barefoot, they have no sun protection, no water, no food. They usually have a stick that the cow, they're out here, sometimes they're alone, sometimes there's 4 of them. They're like 5 years old on a weekday when they should be in school, and they're out here herding cattle in the desert, which is filled with scorpions, snakes. There might even be lions here. It's like child labor. We're on the bridge over the Luangwa River on the Great East Road in south central Zambia, and this is the only bridge over the Luangwa River in the entire country of Zambia. It's significant because the Luangwa River cuts the country in half. It goes from kind of the northeast into the south central here, and communities in the north have no way to get to communities in the south without going all the way back to Lusaka and then driving this Great East Road, which is like a 16-hour trip, even though in a straight line it can only be like 200 kilometers. So this is it. I mean, this is the only thing linking 2 sides of a country of 20 million people. We're about to enter South Luangwa National Park, apparently one of the best nature areas in Africa. We're not even there yet. Look at all the baboons.
Right now it's 7 a.m. and the baboons are ready to start the day. So there's like hundreds of baboons living in this hotel. And right now, I think they're gonna destroy the lodge. So we're ready for this.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the show as these baboons wreak havoc on the grounds of our campground here. Here we go.
There's like 30 baboons here, and they're destroying the roofs of these chalets. It costs $1,000 a night to stay in one of these, and they just rip them apart every single morning. We made it into the park. It was really fun because they only take cash. We didn't have enough cash. They sent us to the ATM. The ATM was broke.
We took a picture of the broke ATM, brought it back. We said, we'll give you what we have. We paid half price to get into South Luangwa. We're on the banks of the Luangwa River here. Right now, we have Egyptian geese. We have gray-crowned cranes. We have a whole pod of hippos. If you look over on this side, we have a bunch of zebras. Up here we have baboons and one very happy Mexican girl. Even when we're traveling, we still make sure we work out at least about twice a week. Anyway, this is the coolest gym in Africa because it's outdoors. The key here in Zambia is to work out in the morning because it gets too hot then. And if you're lucky, you might see some animals from the gym. Anyway, here's Suhei doing deadlifts like a beast. Whoa. How does it feel?
Thai.
Because it has the best pool in Africa!
Great, and we're overlooking the Luangwa River. It's filled with hippos, crocs, elephants wander up, and sometimes they say even lions swim across the river into the campground. Isn't this fantastic?
My reflection on Zambia is that it's truly an amazing country. It's stunningly beautiful. There's not too many tourists there. Zambian people are absolutely amazing. They are so friendly with the biggest smiles, and they will go out of their way to proudly show you their wonderful country. It's not a perfect country. Like all countries, it does have its problems, and we can't say that it is a paradise. However, if you're lucky enough to visit here, you'll come away with memories that'll last a lifetime, and you'll probably be back for more.